Alright, so I think I might do a video just on troubleshoot because it's quite useful to show. So you click on this here and it says this, you get this error message. Can you see it says there, cannot convert INumerable to string. And I go down here, I've got INumerable. Now I thought that was right, but this is the problem that I did. I typed in IEN yum and then press space and it picked the first one. Now that is the wrong one. It needs to be IE. Can you see the first one is there, but there's something called numerator. That's the one we want. I had the wrong thing. Now that's because I was just being lazy. Now I suspect if I'm doing it, everyone else is doing it. Now if I press here, I'll give it a second. Gone. No errors, because that's how it should be. It's very annoying. So it's numerator, not numerable. Be careful about that, because it's I was looking at it, couldn't see anything that was wrong, but it's because I called the wrong function there anyway. So now let me just press play, which is where I wanted to go. Now, if I go to console here and fire, can you see? I've hit the terrain. Hitting the terrain. Now look, I'm not hitting the zombie. And can you see my bullets that are minus 60 odd bullets? So I've got some problems here, haven't I? Just hitting the terrain. I'm not actually detecting I'm hitting the zombie at all. And the bullets are not working. So let's have a look at this. Couple of significant things is I'm not running out of bullets. It's not detecting the bullets gone, and it's not detecting the it's not detecting what sort of I'm hitting the right things. It's not actually detecting that the object is right. So let's have a look at the zombie first. Alright. Now, is the zombie, I can see one thing here. The zombie doesn't have a rigid body. So I'm going to add a rigid body. You can't hit it. It doesn't actually physically exist. It's almost like a ghost. So I'm going to give it a rigid body. Now, I can see a problem straight away. It's got gravity. Now, this ground here, we haven't got our nav mesh working properly yet. So it's probably going to fall through the ground, but it'll be quite fun if it does. I press play. Watch what happens. Ah, boom, it falls through the ground, as suspected. I've given it a rigid body, has gravity, but there's no... The floor is a bit of a go. So now we've got to add... If I go on the terrain, so there's quite a lot of steps to this. I thought there would be. We've got to do a nav mesh now. This is where it starts to get interesting. Nav meshes are the navigator or terrain that the AI can move on. Also affects us as well. We can apply ourselves to it. So I'm going to go nav mesh. If you can't find this navigation tab, go to Windows, render, is it animation, where is it, general, I can't remember what it is. Oh, AI, there you are, AI navigation, and you get that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bake, and watch what happens when I bake. I get a load of blue. That is a navigational terrain that the zombie can move on. Now we've got to attach the zombie to it. So I'll click the zombie, and I'm going to add a component called navmesh agent. This will force that zombie to move only in the blue bits, in the navigational bits. Now let's press play. It's not moving, it's staying on pot. Now let's click console. So I'm hitting the terrain. Now, is it detecting the zombie? Is it? No, is it? Flipping heck, as much. It's hitting the terrain, but it's not hitting the zombie. Right, we'll sort that out. So it's not the fact it's got a rigid body, though a rigid body is quite handy. Let me add another thing then that it could be. Could be a capsule collider. Does that mean that, yeah, capsule collider, does that mean we can get rid of the rigid body? Now I want to give it a rigid body because that means that you can't merge with others. Capsule collider is the same. I'm giving it a capsule collider so that it can actually be detected. Now if I double click here on the zombie, there there's the capsule. Can you see this capsule glider is right at the bottom? So I need to actually slide up, make the height of this capsule glider 2. I need to give it in the center 1. So it's actually going to see, we want it in where the zombie is. Now if I press play, let's have a look. It's got a console. I'm hitting terrain. Ah, it's using the zombie. There, it's detecting the zombie, terrain, zombie, terrain, zombie. Good. That bit's working. Now we've still got a problem with the bullets. So just troubleshoot. This is, I've not even got much working. Can you see why this is such a lot to do on this? This is why I kept this to one video on its own. It's going to be quite a long video at this rate as well. So we've actually identified whether we're hitting a zombie or not, but we've still got a problem with this bullet. So that when the bullets go down, showing the bullets, we're shooting, but we're not doing any bullet checking. So let's do a bit of bullet checking, shall we? We want to do here, rather than just to shoot, we want to say if current bullets, which is there, if, oh, go in here, if current bullets is greater than not, then we shoot. So in other words, only if we've got bullets, shoot. If you're not, then we don't. And this is why we have the reloading bit, because it'll just, that's the only way we can increase it, is by reloading. So I'm going to save that and press play. See if this fixes it. I've got errors. Here we go. Let's hopefully it's a quick one. Oh, if current bullets is current, hang on, current bullets is greater than naught. Oh, what have I got that funny thing for? That was quite an easy one to fix. Oops. Save it. See if that fixes it. It's gone. I would like to clear. I'm going to hit the train quite a bit yet. I'm going to hit the zombie. Don't want to do it yet. I've gone to 0 bullet. I can't press anymore. Look, I'm pressing. Can you see the cursor vanishes as well? So, and I'm not firing more. And if I press R, one clip gone down. I'm firing more bullets. R. I can't fire for a bit and then it suddenly starts firing. I'm pressing R. I've just pressed R by the way. Yeah, it's working now. That bit works. Awesome. Now we need to take this zombie to take some damage now. After all that, we've done part of the work. Let's get the zombie so it takes some damage. Right then, so what we want to do is the zombie to take damage. So what I'm going to do now is load this zombie script up here. We've got all these things we need to take damage now. So I'm looking at the zombie control. I'm going to make some changes to zombie before I make some changes to the thing. So we need to give the zombie some health. So first of all, private int health equals, I'm only going to give it health of 10. Each zombie has a health of 10. It's not very healthy things. And we also want to check and see if it's dead. Quite an handy thing, isn't it? Private bool. I'm going to call it I am dead. And obviously it's not to begin with, it's false. So there we're checking to see if it's alive. And we're checking to see if it's thing, quite a simple little thing. So here. So can I just make an observation? If it's dead, it won't be able to do any of these. So we need to, first of all, we've got if I am die. What have we got here? I'm dead. I am dead. If I am dead, no, we want to check to see if the opposite of that. So we put a pling to say, an exclamation mark to say opposite of I am dead. So in other words, so we want to check if it's not dead, you'll be able to do all these wonderful things. So I'm just going to move them all there. then what I do is I highlight all this in, I press tab and it shoves them all across. So provided I'm not dead, I can do all these wonderful things. But if I am dead, then else I want to just literally say debug.log I am dead. Can't do much when you're dead, really, can you? Apart from say you're dead. So yeah, I might put some more bits and pieces in here. But if you're not dead, you can also be partially alive. You might want to check here in a little function, because this is the update function, to see if your health goes down. So if our health is less than 1, then we're going to zombie. I'm going to create a function called, well, my thing is I'm going to create a new function down here called zombie dies, void zombie dies. This deals with all the thing to do with the zombie dying. There's going to be lots of functions in here. I am dead. It's going to be zombie dies. There. So basically everything stays the same. It can do all its business here, but if its health gets too low, it calls this function called zombie dies. We also want to create another function called zombie takes hurt pain as well. We're going to have some sort of getting hurt public. In fact, we'll make it public so that the player controller accesses it. It's called hurt zombie. I'm going to call it hurt zombie. I'm calling it that. So the zombie is going to get hurt. So what we do, we reduce its health by -1, don't we? Reduce its hurt a little bit. So this is the public void. This is going to be a public function that's going to get called by player controller to hurt the zombie. Now, what I'm going to do, that reduces the health and it's going to go to the zombie thing. So the zombie dies. What we need is going to be basically the death animation here. But we also want it to do the death animation and die properly. So I'm going to literally go zombie dies. I'm going to copy and paste this lot, put it here. I'm going to put it. I put the debug. I don't need that debug because I've already said it's zombies dying. Now we've got 4 of these. And the animator, where's the animator? It's called falling. I've called it dead. The function's called dead and it'll call the falling back. I don't really need, well, I'll set that as, I want to make sure that all these other things are true, but I also want to go anim dot set bool dead, comma true. So they are. It's going to set the zombie to a dead state. But also what we want to do is once it's done that, we want it to go through the animation sequence, and then we want it to actually delete the object, delete the game object, the zombie. We don't want him around much longer. So we're going to do this coroutine business again. I've got one code here called Dying Swan. And I'm going to just literally just show you what this looks like. I want to copy and paste the code across, speed up. So I've created this Dying Swan here. It puts a dying and it waits 2 seconds. So that allows this the death animation, which we're assuming is 2 seconds. Change that to 2. 2 seconds, and then it destroys the game object, so it destroys the zombie here. So I'll just go through that again. If the health goes below 0, this function gets called. It calls the animation sequence for dead. Now that animation sequence is going to take time. So we don't want to just delete the zombie immediately. We want him to go through the animation sequence. So we call a call routine that basically waits 2 seconds and then deletes the game object. That hopefully will allow the death routine to work. Now this is not a perfect science. Sometimes it may stand back up again, sometimes it might be part way through its death. This is not the best way of doing it, but this is just a quick and easy way of doing it, if you understand what I'm saying. Anyway, this function here, public hurt, that's going to get called, and because in the update function here we're checking the health constantly. Oh, hang on, health -1. I better say zombie dies and call it there. There we are, so we'll call it there. Hang on, I've got it calling twice here. That doesn't need to be called from there. I want to remove that. That might be a typo there. Because it's getting called there, you don't call it multiple, you can't die repeatedly. You see, make sure there's no errors pop up. While I'm doing this, I keep saving it as I go along. Save, save. So now here we are. Let's go back to the player controller. We want to check to see if we're going to hit the zombie here in the player controller. So what we want to do is we want to do this business. I'm going to literally just copy and paste it. So we want to go if hit dot, hang on, hit, not it, hit info dot transform dot tag. Now this is the tag of it, because we might have multiple zombies, so the names will change because we've got multiples, but the tag will always be zombie. Now is it lowercase or uppercase? I think it's uppercase zombie, but hang on a minute, zombie. And we're just checking there, save that. Just check my zombie here for a second. That's uppercase Z. It's always important to make sure. If that was lowercase, we would have problems. Right, so if now you'd think this would be quite easy. So the way I would do this before is I go, well, it's easy. What we do, Wayne, is we do a quick scroll up here. We do a serialized field to access the zombie, and then we can link it. That's great, except it only works on a one-to-one basis. So if I had one zombie, I could do this. But the point is, in this game, we're going to have lots and lots and lots of zombies. So we need to reference the right zombie. Sorry. Go to the script here. We need to access the right zombie here. So we need to access the actual zombie we hit. Not every zombie. So we're not accessing every zombie script. So you don't hit one and then every zombie gets linked. So we need to be very careful. Now this is where it gets complicated. And I'm going to copy and paste the code and do my very best to explain it. We're going to do this here. Okay, a temporal variable. I'm just going to literally copy and paste this code. I'm going to save it. So here we are. So we're creating a temporary variable called zombie, and it's using, well, we're accessing the class zombie. We're creating a temporary variable called zomb, and that zomb is being referenced to hit info.transform.game. So the actual zombie we hit, we get the component of zombie, in other words, the script zombie from the zombie we hit there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to access that function called zomb, because that's now a function, and we're going to access the actual thing of the take damage hurt to zombie. So that will hurt that zombie only, not all zombies, but the one we've actually hit. So this one only affects the zombie we hit. Okay, so that's as simple as it is. Now the question is, will this work? Here we go. I've got an error message. I always like a good old error message. Oh, have I got an error message though? No, I've got no error message. Awesome. If I had an error message, let's press play, see if we get an error, see what we get, see if it works. Hitting the terrain, hitting the zombie. Right, turn and see me. There it goes. Now, it's having a fun. Oh, it's got some errors here. Oh, I've killed it. Oh, and then it popped up again. It's not perfect. I didn't say it would be perfect. I will just say that it's going to be, it will work. Now, I'm going to probably tidy up for the next video. But, oh, it's working now. I don't understand. And, yeah, when it gets to 40, can you see it jumps back up again? So, the actual timing for the animation needs to be fiddled with. This business here. You're going to have to play about with the timing of this, the fallback here. I'm going to make that 1 point. I'm going to make that 3. Let's make that 3 seconds. I'll have a little quick play and then I'll try to save it. I just don't, I'm just aware of them for this video. It falls down, then goes back up again. I'm going to leave it for now. But basically that's to do with, to fix that, which I'm not going to cover in this video because it's just the length of it is just getting ridiculous now. You'll have to just play about with the thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload my script and my code. I'm going to upload all the various pieces, assets, etc. in the video for this. So anyway, I hope you enjoy that. This is quite a complicated thing to follow. Have a go. It's not going to be perfect when it's done. You will have glitches. You'll have the death animation, but the good thing is you'll be able to duplicate these zombies and have lots of them. In fact, I'm going to have another zombie. I'm going to have 2 of them. Let's have a look. I should have 2 zombies. Let me just quickly test that. In fact, I'm going to get them to follow me. There we go. One's dead. It's not perfect. The death animation is rubbish, but we can sort that out later. But anyway, they both die. So anyway, this is Teacher Wayne. I hope you enjoyed that. That's me just having a little fun with some of the code and trying to make it as simple as I can. Obviously it's not perfect, but it's about you learning it, and you're going to have to do a bit of tweaking with the animation, and there is ways around this with the code. And for the next video hopefully I'll show you a better way of doing this. Anyway, this is Teacher Wayne. Thank you very much for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe my videos. Thank you and goodbye.